Hi, I'm Danny Przinski here today, and what I'm going to be talking about today is how we can take our math expressions resource and from that create a workshop-based lesson. Today we're going to move a little bit further away from the math expressions resource and create a lesson that's really an investigation and gives kids a chance to work together, but hopefully reach the same goals that are here in the math expressions resource. The lesson today is a second grade lesson, and it's Unit 2, Lesson 2, drawing quick tens and quick hundreds. So the lesson is teaching kids that they can represent numbers. So the number 134 could be represented as 100 square, 3 10 squares, and 4 1 squares. And so for this lesson, I would still teach the mini lesson. I would bring the kids up to the carpet with some whiteboards. And in math expressions, they give you 4 pages of work to do on this, whiteboards and first board and second board and exchanging boards. As I look through this just looked a little confusing and a little difficult to manage. So what I would do is just have them have their whiteboards and give them some practice drawing numbers in the hundreds. So how would you draw the number? You could start with the tens too. How would you draw the number 68? 6 tens and 8 ones. How would you draw the number 94? How would you draw a number like 126? Giving them lots of practice there at the carpet, but less than 10 minutes. I think kids can get this, and then give them a chance to explore that a little bit. Although I like some of the other materials and resource things they have here, including the differentiated instruction. Today I want to give kids a chance to work together in a group. So I'm going to show you what activity I have planned for them today. They're going to be in groups of anywhere from 3 or 4 kids, and they're going to get a big piece of chart paper. Today I'm going to show you that on a whiteboard, but they're going to get a big piece of chart paper, and they're going to represent a number in the hundreds as many ways as they can. So take a look over here. They'll get a big piece of chart paper, such as this whiteboard, with the number 136. And as a group, they'd be challenged to make that number as many ways as they can. I know that a lot of kids are first only going to think of this way right here. 100, 3 tens, and 6 ones. And this is exactly what we talked about in the mini lesson, being able to represent a number such as this in the hundreds. But we could also represent 136 this way, with 13 tens and 6 ones. We could take it a lot further too. 100, 2 tens, 16 ones. There's a lot of ways to represent this number. And this challenge will give kids in groups an opportunity to really practice this a lot of different ways. Imagine how many different ways they're going to be writing this number throughout this activity. And that's really the goal of our lesson, is for them to be able to represent numbers. Okay? And so they'll be doing that, and then I've got a few activity questions for them to wrap up with. I'll give them a sheet that has them just reflect on what they learned today. How many ways did you find? Maybe they found only 2 ways. Maybe they found more. How did you know if you found them all? Was there any patterns to what you were doing? And drawing their favorite representation, and why is it their favorite? And then as part of this lesson too, I'd make sure I have an extended wrap-up time. Because they've created this on chart paper, I want them to be able to share it with other groups. So giving every group a chance to present and talk about all the different ways they found to create their number. And I'd give every group a little bit different number, but a number maybe in the 100s, so they can show all the different ways to create their number. And I think this would be a really nice way for kids to meet that same goal that's here in the math expressions, TE, which is to draw tens and hundreds, being able to represent the numbers in some different ways, but gives them a chance to work together, create it in groups, share their thinking, which we know is so important too. So this is just another way to run a math workshop. And during this time too, the teacher can be kind of looking at who is really getting this, who isn't. What kids maybe tomorrow do I need to go back and check in with a little bit more, because they're not seeing how to represent these numbers, they're not drawing it accurately. Maybe the teacher just has a quick check on her clipboard and is noting what kids are getting this and what kids aren't too, just as a formative way of seeing who's understanding that. But that's one way you could take your math expressions TE and use an activity or an investigation to get to the same goal. Thank you.